Hello, I'm Laura,
Hi, I'm Wendy. We're with GoGoKid.
and we are here just to talk with you a little bit about what is GoGoKid and what can you expect if you would like to get hired with GoGoKid. So GoGoKid is currently a brand new online platform for teaching English to children in China. It is based out of Beijing and it is a flipped classroom model, meaning the students are presented with the information before you teach the lesson, and if they have done what they're supposed to do, they come already knowing some of that information that you will be teaching them. It is a brand new startup company. If you are currently a member of VIP Kid, it is very similar to that, but it doesn't look quite as fancy yet. It's brand new. The students are just coming on and they are working to put their teachers in place. So if you're competing with 50,000 other teachers, you won't be competing with that many teachers currently in GoGoKid. With that said, the students have actually not started signing up quickly yet. Their marketing campaign begins in August, so teachers are being quickly put into place to handle that marketing rush that's coming in August. So if you are wanting to get started with a company and have your students established early in the company, this is the company to get started with. Wendy's going to talk to you a little bit more about specifics and how you are hired and what happens after you are hired.
So like Laura said, it's very similar. The interview process is much shorter. That was one thing that drew me towards it. There's not a multi-step interview process for most people, especially if you have experience teaching online or even just teaching in a brick and mortar classroom. They're looking for experienced teachers, preferably with a master's degree. That being said, in order to apply, you need to just be a native speaker, native English speaker, legally able to work in the United States or Canada. You may have any bachelor's degree. Unlike some of the companies that are out there, some are looking for only degree teachers. You may have any bachelor's degree, but teaching experience, coaching experience, tutoring experience, online experience is of course all a plus that will go towards your base pay. If you have the TESOL, the TESOL, any of those certifications, of course, that is a plus as well. You can get that certification on Groupon or online. It's very similar, one-to-one platform. They give you the PowerPoint. The curriculum is all provided for you. 25 minutes, just like VIP Kid. You do your feedback after. There's no minimum required number of classes as of right now that you need to hold. So if you're looking for, if you are a VIP Kid teacher or just looking for something small to get you started, there's no minimum number of classes that you need to hold. So it's a nice kind of filler. That's what drew me over, to kind of work with both companies to kind of fill in those gaps that I'm not quite getting booked like I wanted to with VIP Kid. It's definitely possible to work for both companies. That's what Laura and I are doing, and you know, there's no stipulation in the contract saying that you can't do that, so that's a possibility as well. You can open your own schedule. They have a very similar time frame, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Beijing time. Their peak times are very similar, 6 to 9. The 7 to 9 is their like hot PPP time. You're most likely to get booked there, or at least what they're pushing for you to open at least that. I will say that I've had a handful of bookings and they've all been at like 4 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. So just like when I started with VIP Kid, I open my schedule wide open and you'll get some random little bookings here and there just to get familiar with some of the trial students that they've been pulling in. But there's no like major course classes or anything going on quite yet.
And I could add to that by saying it must be fairly random, because both of my classes for this week for GoGoKid, one is at 7 a.m. our time, 7 p.m. their time, and 7:30 a.m. our time, 7:30 p.m. their time. So seems like there's not a lot of rhyme or reason. They just kind of
They're
come
just
when
looking
they
for
come.
trials right now.
Yes.
And like I said, it doesn't really sound like a lot of people are getting a ton. Keep that in mind. So don't expect to be able to open your schedule if you get hired next week and bam, have, you know, 30 bookings. It'll be August before they even start advertising. So keep in mind that July is more of like your training period. It's a time for you to get familiar with the curriculum, familiar with the process, especially if you're not an online teacher already. There's a couple of other stipulations with bonus pay and things that begin 30 days after your contract, after you sign your contract, which we'll get into that in a minute, but that's actually kind of a plus for you because they don't have any kids right now anyway. So if you sign a little bit too early, so take your time, but July, August is a great time to apply. Payment. They pay through PayPal, which is the one difference from VIP Kid. That's new, so you need a PayPal account. It is $7 to $10, the base pay per 25-minute class, so minimum of $14 an hour, plus the bonus pay. The major difference between VIP Kid and GoGo Kid is that GoGo Kid functions off of a point system. So you all start with 100 points and you go up or down based on your feedback and your performance and, you know, no-shows, cancellations, all of that kind of thing. There is two other draws that caught our attention. There is a $300, they call it a sign-on bonus, but you have to do a couple things to get it, so it's not like, bam, you get $300, but
It's not automatic.
you get $300. You get $150 after you teach 3 classes finished as scheduled in your first 30 days. So that's the 30-day stipulation. You have to have kids to do it. And then you get the other $150 if you get positive feedback on those 3 classes. So that's your $300. The other major thing is that they pay you 60% of your base pay for those peak times, so the 7 to 9 time, even if you don't get booked. If it's opened 48 hours prior, and they will not book you within 24 hours. So you have a 24-hour notice that you can pop on over to any other company and do a short notice booking. So those were the 2 major draws that kind of brought me in and convinced me that I am able to mesh these 2 schedules and work with both companies.
So make 60% at GoGo Kid, go open something else up with VIP Kid, and get $2 extra from them. So it's almost like you're getting paid twice for the same spot, 2 different companies.
It has happened to me a couple times, so
It's kind of nice.
it's kind of cool. So that's kind of the basics of GoGo Kid. If we have caught your interest, shoot us an email. They are taking referrals only from hired teachers at this point. So you can email either of us and we will send your resume and your email address and your phone number and just a little bit about yourself. If you're a degree teacher, any experience that you have, we'll send them a little blurb and you will get in. We'll kind of fast track your resume in. It's much quicker than getting lost in the shuffle of just shooting them an email or trying to apply through their website. We do have referral codes, but it's much easier if you just contact us directly and we can make sure that your resume gets in and we can walk you through, if you stay tuned, the rest of your application process and even your first lesson or 2.
So step 1, get your resume updated. Update it with any of your online ESL information, any of your degrees, any of your certificates, and get that to one of us as soon as possible, and we can start forwarding things and taking care of the process for you. It does take about 7 to 10 days.
The turnaround is starting to extend, so you do want to kind of beat the rush of other teachers, even though the kids aren't quite here yet. You want to beat the rush of applicants that are already kind of coming in. So when I was hired, you know, my turnaround was just a couple of days, and they're already, and that was just 2 weeks ago. They're already starting with you better wait 7 to 10 days, maybe 14 days before you hear back, before you get your interview process going. So
get going.
Get going. Email us and stay tuned, and we'll help you along.
Bye.